What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about SPCX. Here we are, yet again, SPCX on its seventh day of existence. We haven't started the seventh day yet. 1 full week of life. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? $149, $150 early pre-market hours. We dropped far more than I thought we would have yesterday. Yesterday, I was advocating here that people take profits on their shorts. I'm going to double down on that. If you haven't taken profits on your shorts, even more so now. And I'm going to say the same thing that I said here, that even if we go lower, it doesn't matter, because at some point we are going to come back up. It is going to happen. At no point in this video am I going to advocate for anybody to buy this stock right now to make a long trade, a short-term upside trade. None of that. None of that. We are in danger zone delta 096. It is 69 maybe. We're in the danger zone right now. You don't want to be long or buying this thing at all, because I could be wrong. We could tremendously drop more. That really could happen. And for anybody who shorted the top whenever we were saying to short the top and to sell and heavily advocating against buying, holding your short position is probably fine. You probably don't need to take profits. But at the same time, if you take profits here, it goes lower, you feel like a dummy, but then it comes back up and it gives you an opportunity to go short at a higher price than here after you took profits. You know, there's opportunity there. I never like having my money tied up in a trade for the long term. It's a nice idea to short something from its all-time highs and hold that short until all-time lows. It's a nice idea, but that takes a lot of time. In that time, there's opportunity elsewhere, which maybe that's opportunity for you to do good things or opportunity for you to screw things up. You know, depends on your style of trading. Everybody's different. But the main thought here is not trading. It's really stay away. Stay away unless you're selling, unless you're getting out, unless you're shorting. Stay away. But even here, it's a dangerous time to short. Here it really is. And SpaceX has been so volatile to the upside, so volatile to the downside. You think that it's just going to move. Whenever it was the first 3 days of existence, people thought it was just going to keep going up. Now the last 2 days, people are thinking it's just going to keep going down. It's the same stuff. When you're polarized like this, you get volatility. If you think that you're not going to see prices near or above $200 again before going dramatically lower than where we are now, I think that's crazy. And being at the IPO price, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we did find support here. Maybe we find support directly where we are now at the pre-market hours. We've got 7 minutes until the market opens. Maybe we find support directly here. Maybe in the beginning part of the market we drop down and then we come up sometime in July. However it works. I wouldn't be surprised if we did come back up to fill both of these gaps here, or at the very least to fill this gap here. But we'll see. Time will tell. Pretty big day yesterday. Pretty big day. It was also the day with the least amount of volume. One of the biggest days so far in SpaceX's history, and it had the least amount of volume. This is panic selling. This is not driven by the insiders. The insiders sold up here, guys. The insiders sold on IPO day. They already sold. They already made their money. The people who are trying to make money on this thing right now and doing it effectively are the ones who are shorting. And if you're smart, you'll be looking for a short opportunity. Buying or shorting, buying puts, selling shorts at this level or at anything below IPO price, you're asking to get a big green candle right up your short hole. It's not going to be good. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Let's actually look at the 15-minute time frame, because this thing's so new. There's not a lot of data. We're going to go to the sessions. Come on. There we go. Extended. Extended set. What? Why? There we go. Okay. I like my colors. Give me my colors. 15-minute time frame. So here, for those of you that don't know, yellowish is pre-market, bluish is post-market, right? After hours, early hours. And here we are. We've already gone below the IPO price a couple times. We're holding support there. Now, we saw significant support coming in the early hour sessions today. This is when Asia was awake. Overbought, zone rejection, but if we look at the RSI, it might even be worth it to look at this thing on a DEX. Maybe we can look at that on a DEX. We'll see. But you got higher lows here. It's not bad. you're certainly bearish. You're extremely bearish here. So if we were to go lower, I wouldn't be too thrown off by that. Stochastic's finding support, though, where before you were getting into the oversold zone, getting into it, not just finding support right at it. So I think we are doing something different. I wouldn't be surprised if today was a green day. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a red day either. That's not me saying it could do this, and if it does either of those things, I'm right. No. I'm just saying we're in a volatile time. Don't be surprised by significant moves up or down. But the lower that we go, like yesterday I was very confident that we're going to find a bounce somewhere between there, 170, and this closing high here, 160, somewhere in that range. We went lower. And that was totally acceptable. It's not surprising. We've accepted that as reality. Now that we're at the IPO price, I'm expecting even more than I was yesterday that we're probably going to find support around this area. And if we go lower, that probability only goes up and up. And even still with that, I'm not touching this thing to the long side. I'm not buying it. I have no interest in that. Because who knows, you could just keep dropping like a rock. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. Logically, it doesn't make sense to me. $1 or 150 right now. MACD looks like it's coming up too, like you want to come up and cross the zero. The 15-minute time frame is completely insignificant, but when you have a new chart like this, it's much more significant than it ever will be again in its life. Okay. 1 hour time frame, we look at this bad boy, and you do have bullish divergence here on your RSI, higher lows. Lower lows in the price, higher lows in the RSI, bullish divergence. You saw this move up, that could be it. You could move down. Stochastics are terrible, but you're coming out of the oversold zone. There's some bullish things going on. MACD's been red for most, if not your entire life. You had a little pip of green here. You're about to flip green right now. The last time you flipped green, it did not do anything for you. It didn't do anything. This time you flip green, maybe it's the same result. Maybe we move up. We don't know yet. But my suspicion is that here, we really could see some recovery based off this move overall. We move down very fast. When you move up really fast, you see downward volatility. You move down really fast, you see upward volatility. It's just how it goes. We take this fib level from a high point to the low point here and imagine that we do see a retracement of this move to any degree. The minimum target would be the 382. The minimum target is the 382. It's about a 14% move up from here. You don't want to be short right now. The next target, the secondary target to that would really be the golden ratio. That's a 26 to 30% move. That takes you right below $200. Takes you right to prior areas of resistance and support. And could you move higher than that? Sure. With this, likely, you don't actually get above $200, but you get very close to it. Maybe we do send it just above $200. You see as much as a 40 to 36% move. And maybe before any of that happens in the zone, you drop lower first. But just looking at this here without all the shenanigans on it, and is there a way to dull the senses here? Is there a way to do it? I don't know how you would do it. To get rid of the... No, there's not. To get rid of the colors. Anyways, there's a lot of significance here and here. There's a lot of significance at this high point and then these low points here. There's a lot of significance at that 200 to 190 area. And maybe even we can lower this line. Maybe we could say 200 to 187, 185. There's a lot of significance in that area. You throw the fibs back on, high to low, that's where your golden ratio is. It's completely possible. This 382, support there, prior resistance there from your IPO day. It's completely possible that you find resistance at 173, 180, 191, 197, whatever the case may be. Then we look at this on the daily time frame, where the gaps are. If you go up into this zone, into the golden ratio, look, we just opened up the day, gapped down. If we go to the golden ratio, you're going to fill this gap. You go to the golden ratio right here, right there in that area there. Let's put it right at the line. You go to the golden ratio, you tip that, you're going to fill that gap exactly. You're going to fill every gap on the way up, see a very standard retracement, and then come back down. If we see an opportunity like this where we're anywhere near $200, I will be screaming from the top of my lungs, this is the time to short. Just like I was up here. And then anybody who cut their shorts here or here or here, you will have a much better opportunity to get back in there. But again, don't be surprised. We could see some significant movement to the downside today. We're at that IPO price. The reason why we can see significant downside is that everybody who's bought now, since this thing's existed, everybody's in the red. There's not one person who's in the green, right? They're all in the red. They're all feeling that. There's people who hold, who are stubborn, but man, we're getting to the point here where from a high to a low, you're down 33%. That's pretty intense. People start to freak out around this level, right? And they start to freak out as we go lower. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some panic selling that could induce a little bit of price action to the downside, but I do think from here we stand a very solid chance of moving at least to like 170, 175, if not higher. I've got nothing else. Hit that like button, subscribe, stay away from it. Do not buy it at all. Do not long it at all. I'm pretty confident that we move up, but just stay away from any type of upside plays. You don't want to get in, you don't want that smoke, man. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.